we talk about crime tonight and also guns, let's go to another question here from one of our viewers. It comes from Christine Orr. She wants to know, how will you control the gun violence in Indianapolis? She says it's out of control. She says our community needs safety from retaliation. Mayor Hogsett, I'll start with you here. 60 seconds. What can the city do about gun violence, specifically with numbers that have really been dramatically on the rise in recent years, sometimes impacting our youth as well?
Well, first and foremost, we implemented a 3-year, $150 million anti-crime, anti-violence effort, due in no small measure by monies made available by the American Rescue Plan. So that's a beginning. We've had peacemakers and violence interrupters spread out throughout the community. And frankly, we're also leading the way in gun safety, prospective gun safety legislation, where we would raise the age that one could purchase a weapon. We would do away with concealed carry. We would do away with permitless carry. And we would ban the sale of any kind of military-style assault weapons. In my estimation, the only people who ought to be carrying those guns around are soldiers. And I think that in doing those things, we can reduce crime and gun violence.
Mr. Shreve, same question for you. What's your plan to control gun violence in Indianapolis?
We clearly have too many illegal guns in the hands of folks that should not have them, be they underage or criminals, people with criminal history. We have a revolving door that we hear about in Marion County time and again of people that commit violent offenses with handguns that are not prosecuted and serve time. The system is broken. The men and women of the IMPD do their job, but the rest of the system, the prosecutor or the judiciary with consistency, is not doing its job. We need to get the illegal guns out of the hands of those that should not have them in this community. I do support harmonizing the lawful age of gun purchase at 21. And I do support the permit requirements for concealed carry of weapons, which we did repeal last year. I would have been persuaded by the testimony of Superintendent Doug Carter and our IMPD chief in keeping those elements in place.
There's been a lot of discussion about both of your plans involving gun violence. I want to follow up on that here briefly. You've both proposed policies that would require state lawmakers to change some laws to allow them to take effect here at the local level. So, Mr. Shreve, 30 seconds here in this follow-up question. You've promised you'll try to work with lawmakers at the State House, but how do you plan to achieve that and get lawmakers to go along with some of the positions that you just laid out when it comes to guns and crime?
Well, the mayor has to recognize the reality of the way the state is organized constitutionally, and there is that preemption element that exists. And so it's not helpful to put forward an ordinance that doesn't have the effect of law, that is overridden by the state's preemption requirement. And so you do that by prioritizing those elements to give Indianapolis those controls that are specific to our challenges in Marion County. Put them at the top of your legislative priorities package and go into the start of the session to lobby for them.
Okay. Mayor Hogsett, 30 seconds for you here as well. What are your plans to get state lawmakers to go along with any of these gun policies that you've suggested, or to repeal permitless carry as you've called for? How do you actually make that happen?
Well, it has to be underscored that we're not asking for the state legislature to change the law for the entire state. Legislators from outside the city of Indianapolis may have good reason to want to keep in place those types. I'm simply the mayor of Indianapolis, and I'm asking that these changes be made because Indianapolis is a fundamentally different, more densely populated city, unlike any other city in the state of Indiana. And that's why these proposals have been restricted just to Indianapolis.